I'm sure the hands were up. I'm sure there was some partying going on.
Oh, yeah.
Launa took her second spring break of the year.
Well, was that my second?
Well, you
spring
took a week
break?
off, which was during spring break.
Spring break
That was
week.
spring break a week. You took that full week off, right?
That was more for me. That was like a mental break I needed.
Okay.
So.
A mental spring break, could we call it?
Well, I didn't do a whole lot of partying then just because it
Were
was
you
more-
out on the boat?
We went on the boat one day
Well,
Okay.
because of the weather and stuff.
All right.
But yeah.
And then this time around, and this is the one we always hear about,
Yes.
is your friends from Minnesota come to escape the cold, and they go down. Is it always Cape Coral?
No, it used to be Naples. We used
Okay.
to go to her grandma's house, but
Okay.
grandma's in assisted living now, so now they just rent like an Airbnb down.
Okay.
Sometimes it's Fort Myers, sometimes it's Naples, Cape Coral, that area down there.
All right, so this year was Cape Coral.
Yep.
And you went down there to hang out with your friends from Minnesota that you've known since high school or
Kindergarten. Tara and I, kindergarten.
And you guys just have a ball.
We do.
And you just have a big spring break.
Yes. It's
And-
fun.
And we think it's hilarious because it's an adult spring break.
Yes.
It is.
So we think that's
It is
really funny.
Yeah, it is.
We talked about that while you were gone. We're like, yeah, she's just having a spring break. That's what she does.
But why is that weird? I mean, it's spring,
yes.
it's vacation, it's the best time of the year in Florida. You got to enjoy this weather.
Separate yourself. What if we were doing that? You'd be like,
I'd be like, yeah, go.
it's because you do it.
She'd be like, can I come? Yeah. Can I come with you guys? All right, so let's just check in how it went. All right, because like sometimes there's drama. So was there any drama out the gate?
I mean,
And you know what? Before we do this, we know there was a lot of drinking involved.
there's a lot of drinking
So let's just
involved,
get you set up here. Make sure we check some vitals.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
make sure you're okay.
I need to quit drinking for a while because, yeah, I partied like it was 1990 again, and it's not anymore. And
And that's the funny part about the whole adult spring break. You
Right.
still party like you used to party.
right, like back when I was in college and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right.
So I was partying with college kids though, so that was fun.
Of course she was. Wow.
Well, so I don't know what the deal is, but there's so many people from my hometown in Minnesota that have homes in Fort Myers area, and I think it's because there's a direct flight from Minneapolis to Fort Myers.
Makes
so
sense.
I mean, it's just everywhere you turn around, there's somebody else from my hometown. Everybody's got houses and stuff like that down there. So there was a lot of people down there.
Okay.
A lot. So we were able to hang out with a lot of people and see a lot of people back home from Minnesota. It was fun, partying in another part of town. So that was kind of fun. Interestingly enough,
Okay.
on the way down, so I'm talking to Paul, and he was asking me, he's like, so who's all down here? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, there's just like everybody's down here. And he's like, well, how many of your ex-boyfriends are we going to run into?
Oh, no.
And I was like, I don't know who's down here, And I'm like,
That's a good possibility.
and I'm like, but I go, the only person I know that has a house down here, I said, is Brant. And I go, but I don't know where he lives. I don't know if he's here. I don't know nothing like that. Well, guess what?
Uh-oh.
First night we were down there, we walk into a restaurant, and there's my ex-boyfriend, Brant, and his wife, Rochelle, having dinner.
Nice.
I was like, what are the chances of this?
Did you go up to him and say hello?
Absolutely, of course.
Okay. How did
yeah.
Paul take that?
It was absolutely, he was way fine. Paul was at the bar.
Of course.
and-
He's like, give me a double.
Yeah. Well, he was, and then I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, for those of you that have listened to the show, Brant is my, probably I dated for like 6 years in high school. So he was a big boyfriend. He was the garbage guy. So he was the one that
you laid out on the driveway to get his attention.
Right.
And, okay.
Because he'd pick up the garbage on Tuesdays. So yeah. So,
Still the best. Still the best.
So
yeah.
true.
But yeah, so I haven't seen, I can't even remember the last time I've seen him. It's been years.
Well, Bryce is the last time he picked up the trash.
Yeah. But it was nice. I walked up to him, I was like, hi, how are you? He's like, oh my gosh, what are you doing here? So yeah, it was nice. We caught up, and I introduced him to Paul, and my friend Tara and Rob were there, and it was great. It was fun. So I got to meet his wife, and yeah, we just hung out for a little bit, and then we immediately left. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah, we're gonna go somewhere else. Just gonna get a little awkward.
Yeah, we're just gonna go somewhere else. But yeah, no, it was fine. But yeah, I ran into a ton of people from Prior Lake, my hometown. We partied with a bunch of people and drank a lot. Yeah, so I'm gonna.
What was your drink of choice? Or is it everything?
You know what? I always drink beer, but then I always go straight to Tito's. And so once I go to straight to Tito's, then things start to get a little.
You go from beer to Tito's, not the other way around?
Yeah.
boy.
So I usually start with Tito's, and then I go to, because I know we're going to be day drinking.
Well, you start with Tito's?
Like 2.
Okay,
yeah.
you should start, because liquor before beer, you're
Right,
in the clear.
I start with 2, just kind of get going, and then it's beer, like for the rest of like the 8 hours, and then I'm like, I want another Tito's at the end, and that's when things just get bad. So,
Okay,
but
So, I mean, because like last time, I think you guys all got together. I believe there was a karaoke going on, things, that type of thing. Was that happening?
I mean, we were loud and we were having fun. And
How late into the night or morning did you party?
No, Paul stays up late. He was up till like 1, 2 in the morning.
Well, he's drinking himself to sleep because he has to run into your ex-boyfriends.
I stayed up late. I stayed up till midnight one night, which is late for me. So, because I'm so tired.
Well, yeah, but when you went to Prior Lake and I don't know if that was it was for a concert, Dirk Smitley concert or something like that.
Oh, that was the music fest.
The music fest. You guys were partying till like 4 in the morning.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I can't
do that anymore. That was like 3 months ago or whatever. It wasn't that long ago.
I know. My brain is spring break 1990. My body is not spring break 1990 anymore.
Spring break 2025.
Oh, I can't do this anymore. So yeah, but no, it was
you say that, but
you'll do it next year.
You'll do it next year.
Oh, it's an annual trip. Yeah,
right, but you said I can't do this anymore.
Well, I know. I'm telling myself that. I'm not saying I'm gonna. But
all right. Well, it's good to have you back.
It's rough. Yeah, it is. I'm hurting today.
All right. So I just wanted to check on you and see how everything was going. But
my heart's still working.
Yeah, the vitals seem to be good for you. All right. So if you remember this story, we talked about it. This happened up in Brevard County, Cocoa Beach area. A former principal, Elizabeth Hill Brodigan, and third grade teacher Carly Anderson from a school of Roosevelt Elementary School threw a party for over 100 students at the principal's house.
Yes, and there was drinking, there was alcohol, there was all kinds of stuff.
Drugs there as well. So it was quite the house party that they had, and they were obviously arrested by that because when police officers arrived, they said some people were like throwing up in the front yard. Mm-hmm. The fire department had to be called. The fire rescue had to be called because one student had way too much alcohol and was suffering from a medical situation going on there. Mm-hmm. So they finally have brought charges to these two women. I mean, obviously.
It's just unbelievable. What principal and a teacher.
Well, they kind of like, the way they did this too is they advertised it on Snapchat, and then they had the kids kind of organize it and say, hey, there's going to be a party at my house. Mm-hmm. The principal's saying this. Then students told officers that, oh yeah, parties like this happen once or twice a month. So it wasn't the first time that they had thrown a party.
My goodness.
That's crazy.
I mean, the teacher and the principal are supposed to be the people that you can trust, with your children and teach them good things. Oh my gosh.
Well, how did they think they weren't going to get caught? With
I know.
100 students at your house, I mean, people are going to say something.
I mean, right. What are you thinking?
Or one of the kids is going to say something, obviously.
Absolutely.
Just a bad idea all around. So here you go. Here's some of the charges that they are now facing. The principal is charged with 1 count of child neglect, third-degree felony punishable by up to 5 years in prison, 5 years probation, and a $5,000 fine. 5 counts of contributing to the delinquency of a minor, a first-degree misdemeanor. Each count is punishable by up to 1 year in jail and a $1,000 fine. 1 count of holding an open house party. Second-degree misdemeanor, punishable by up to 60 days in jail, 6 months probation, and or a $500 fine.
Wow, that's really not that much when you think about it.
Well, I feel
hosting a party,
depending on how many charges they bring, or if they're able to not. If stay away from the jail time, then yeah, the $500 fine doesn't seem like a whole lot. And then the third grade teacher, Carly Anderson, 1 count of disorderly conduct, second-degree misdemeanor, punishable up to 60 days in jail, $500 fine. 1 count of disorderly intoxication, a second-degree misdemeanor, punishable by up to 60 days in jail, and a $500 fine. So apparently they showed up to this house party. There was underage drinking. There was coolers full of alcohol readily available to all the students that were there. And I'm just shocked that the principal and a third grade teacher are throwing these parties.
Crazy.
You just can't even wrap your head around that.
I don't understand.
Florida.
I don't think we can just rack it up to that. That is just nuts.
I know.
That would happen and in this day and age. And I just don't, again, I go back to how did they think they were not going to get caught?
I know. They're idiots. And that's just, you're a principal of a school.
Not anymore.
And you and you thought this was okay? I mean, come on. Jeez.
We'll see what happens. The final punishment, we'll see what it is or what the sentencing is and all that. But they will not be teaching or being a principal principal at any school for, I think, the rest of their lives.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
I think it's a wrap.
Yeah,
on that.
wow. That's bad.
Anyway. All right, coming back, we have Chibuzi, Dustin Lynch, and Chase Beckham. Hang on.